You know, I went from 0 to a rage in one look. One look on my Facebook yesterday of Trump as Jesus was just too much for me. The madness, the fury, the anger, the absolute shock at seeing something so incredibly despicable, so incredibly rude, so incredibly unfeeling, so incredibly lacking in any kind of decency. I realize I've lived too long. You know, when I was a little girl, we went to town with me wearing a hat and white gloves. That was in the South in the United States. But I didn't think life had changed that much. I mean, to blasphemy. That's what it was, blasphemy. I could not believe the level of anger, frustration. I can't even put enough words on it. All I wanted to do was fall down and apologize to a billion people for even having been born in the United States. I could not believe my level of disgust and sadness. And how do you get past that? How do you accept that the leader that your fellow Americans voted for has insulted over 1 billion Roman Catholics? How do you, when your father was a Roman Catholic, my father was a Roman Catholic, he would have been so incredibly hurt. Like the storm behind me, he would have raged. He would have carried on. I guess we should move indoors and continue this conversation because things are getting very wet out here. Kind of like my rage yesterday. I just, you know, and I've talked to so many of my friends, and they feel the same way. They feel like, you know, here, this is my lovely, peaceful farm where people are decent to people, where my helper and his grandfather just left because the rains were coming. And I never have them stay if it's raining outside. Why on earth would I do such a thing? I mean, that's ridiculous. They're humans, and they're sweet humans, they're good people. And I love them to death. I mean, the thing about Latins here in Ecuador, and this was the same in Mexico, they take in people. They have extended families like it's nothing to them. They just assume that you become part of their family. Every morning when he comes, I get a big hug from him and from his grandfather. He's only here 2 days a week. Grandpa's almost as old as I am. But he's had a hard life. A small piece of land and raised cows for food and raised vegetables for food for his had 10 children. Yeah, 10 children, little bit of a guy, 10 children. But Juan is not his child, Juan's his grandson. Juan's mother was killed in a car wreck when he was 5, and his father was killed in a car wreck when he was 7, so he was raised by his grandfather. That's why I wanted to talk to you when this storm was coming, because that's the storm I feel in myself after seeing that picture. It was unbelievable. It was just too much to handle. And so I'm going to tell you how I'm going to overcome this. And I'm going to give you a part of another video to let you know how I feel about my crocheting. That helps me. But what might help you, there's a wide variety of things out there that may make a difference for you. As you notice back here, my husband has airplanes. You might not notice, but over there, these are ships. When it gets to be too much, like the 800 military professionals who were brought in for a conference from Pete Hegseth, who has got no military background, no military experience. He was a reserve officer. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's completely lost. Well, my husband makes models, but you can notice he's made a lot of models, including the ones up above my head, because I was a pilot. See? Yep. That's what we do. We do art. I do fiber art. I do crocheting. You can try exercising. Try playing music. Try dancing. How about walking outside when it's not the middle of a rainstorm? That would be a really, really good idea. Nature heals. Going outside in the farm, in the park, by a river, listening to water flow. Any of those, not kind of the water is flowing right now, is going to be flowing into the door soon. But gentle water flowing or being at a beach side, all of those things will help you get over the anger, frustration that you're feeling. There's so much of that going on because the world is so crazy now. And I just want to be a part of assuring you that there is a way to overcome it. One of the things you can do is play with your puppy, or play with a kitten, or possibly even a pet bird. We have fish over here in the aquarium. Just watching the fish can make you calmer. You have lots of options. Watching a movie with someone you love, touching your hand on the face of a child, holding an infant if you be so fortunate to have one around. All of those things will help you. Instead of going to a therapist, instead of spending that kind of money, first try one of these other options. Try some way of finding a way to overcome it. For me, the greatest glory was finding that all of my friends were out there saying the same thing. They're not Christian either, most of them. Some of them are. Some of them are Roman Catholic. But most of them aren't. They're like myself. They're earth-centered faith. We feel that God is the planet. Yet, they were as horrified as I was. They were as horrified as I am about how people have treated the earth and how she's dying. So please, before you spend the money, before you frustrate yourself like crazy trying to find a way to overcome how you feel about what's going on, try a natural approach. Try some essential oils. Try a walk in the river. Try petting your pet. Try learning a new hobby like playing a guitar or art. They all work. Thank you for being here. And if you have a question, go down below and ask me. I'll answer. And while you're down there, Summerland has lots of different art objects to remind you to take care of the planet and not treat it as badly as Donald Trump, dressing as Jesus, has treated our Roman Catholic friends and neighbors. Thank you.